Josh Brito. Free safety, number 9, Brian Kerwin. Linebacker, number 7, Joe Steinwedel. Defensive tackle, number 75, Nate Weiser. Defensive end, number 3, Travis Fossey. Linebacker, number 55, Kevin Simonson. Defensive tackle, number 8, Casey Roll. Linebacker, number 22, Alex Peltier. Head coach, Brian Sipe, and the rest of the Santa Fe Christian Eagles. And now the starting offensive lineup for the Lancers of Francis Parker. Starting right tackle, senior number 75, Aaron Stannard. Right guard, junior number 55, John Sheely. Center, number 70, sophomore, Anthony Preto. Left guard, senior, number 51, Scott Cruzy. Left tackle, sophomore, number 63, Fletcher Kelsey. Tight end, senior, number 32, Pat McQuinn. Wide receiver, sophomore, number 21, Larry Ayers. Wide receiver, senior, number 24, Steve Black. Quarterback, junior, number 3, Matt Morrison. Running back, senior, number 9, Damian Robinson. Running back, senior, number 42, Matt Collins. Head coach, John Morrison, and the rest of the Francis Parker Lancers.
Can I get out there?
Yeah.
How do I just climb over? Or is there...
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Qualcomm Stadium, the site of the 2003 Division IV Football Championship game. Today's match features the Francis Parker Lancers going up against the Santa Fe Christian Eagles, and they're at midfield getting the instructions from the referees in the coin toss, and we'll be set to go here in just a minute. It's a beautiful morning here on a Wednesday, the 17th of December, 2003. In San Diego, I'm Ken Gonzalez for George Langevin Productions, and it's going to be our pleasure to bring you this morning's action. Francis Parker in the brown and gold uniforms. Santa Fe Christian with the red numbers, gold helmet. This is the first of 4 championship games here at Qualcomm today. Going in order of the divisions, this is the Division IV championship game. Capped off with the D1 game tonight at 8 o'clock. So both of these teams deserving of their place here in this championship game, as the Lancers went through the Coast League, won the league in first place. Second place team, Santa Fe Christian, looking to avenge an earlier loss this year to this Francis Parker team. And they've flipped the coin. And the opening kickoff just moments away here. And we're back. Francis Parker winning the toss. They will receive the ball here to begin this game. There's a whistle, and we're just about ready to get underway. Start the game by the Lancers.
Quarterback number 9, Brian Kerwin.
And Brian Kerwin, the quarterback. Might gain
Number 22, Alex.
maybe a couple of yards.
Number 6,
Alex Peltier on the carry. Fletcher Kelsey on the tackle.
Santa Fe at their own 49-yard line.
And that brings up a 2nd down and 6 for the Eagles. For the Eagles, line up on the far side, Brendan Marks, wide receiver, number 6. And that ball goes right up the middle and across the 45 at about the 44-yard line.
Brought down by number 21, Larry Ayers.
And close for a 1st down, and I believe it is enough.
First down, 1st and 10, Santa Fe Christian.
And it'll be 1st and 10 for the Eagles.
4-yard line.
They are in Lancer territory, just inside the 45-yard line, between the 44 and 45. Quickly, they get down to the line of scrimmage. Set up for another play. Again, handoff right up the middle. Fighting for a couple of yards. And finally brought down.
Number 22, Alex Peltier, the ball carrier.
Alex Peltier with the 2nd run here of the day.
Brought down by number 46.
He gained 1 yard on that run, and it's 2nd down and 9 now for the Eagles.
Santa Fe Christian at the Francis Parker 43.
Cohen under center. We're getting a flag now, and whistles and flags starts flying around the field.
Penalty flag on the play.
And we'll see what exactly it is. We're going to get an offsides against the Lancers, so they'll tack on 5 yards, and now inside the 40 at about the 38-yard line is where the Eagles will operate now.
Picks up a 2nd down and 4.
2nd down and 4 now.
The 38-yard line.
Kerwin again under center. Pitch back to number 4. He gets across the 35, right at the 35, and brought down.
Ball carrier number 4.
Trevor Love on the run. Tried to find an opening over on the far side. He's brought down at the 35.
Parker at their own 30-yard
Now, in that first drive, the Lancers had no problem getting downfield. And we'll see if they can continue that success. They had the fumble, which allowed the Eagles to recover and take the ball across field and score on about 6 plays. Scrambling towards the far side, the ball is going to be nearly intercepted by the Eagles' number 7, Joe Steinwedel.
Matt Morrison's pass is incomplete.
And Matt Morrison trying to get the ball. He was being run down there in the backfield.
Broken up by
And he's lucky that ball wasn't intercepted.
Steinwell. Travis Mossy, number 3, on the pressure for Santa Fe Christian.
Santa Fe Christian Eagles offensive
At their own 30.
team. You've got Adam Deal as a running back, number 2. Travis Mossy, tight end, is number 3. Morrison will hand the ball off, coming around the near side, cuts the corner, get up to about the 35-yard line is Matt Collins.
22, Matt Collins, the ball carrier.
Again, Matt Morrison, the quarterback. Gino Gordon, number 6. Matt Anderson, backup quarterbacks, number 8. Number 9 is Damian Robinson. He's running back. Number 11, Greg Labar. Number 12, kicker Ian Yoder. Number 15, Preston Cavagnac. Number the tackle for the Lancers. And that's where the Eagles will start things off. 5:40 to go here in the first quarter. 1st and 10 from the 28-yard line for the Eagles.
1st and 10, Santa Fe Christian at their own 28-yard line.
Quickly, the Eagles under center. Here comes a snap. It's going to be a sweep down the left side on the near side of the field. Running out of bounds, crossed the 40-yard line. Finally brought down, number 22.
Number 22,
Alex Peltier.
makes the run for Santa Fe.
And that'll be a first down as he gained about 13, 14 yards on that play. And it's 1st and 10 Eagles from their 40-yard line.
A 12-yard gain on the play. It's a first down. 1st and 10. Santa Fe Christian at their own 40.
In motion, number 3, Travis Mossy over on the far side. Now they'll run to the right side of the field. And brought down at about the 45-yard line. Kerwin, the quarterback, he gains 5 yards. It'll bring a 2nd down and 5 now for the Eagles.
Gain of 5 on the play. Brings up 2nd down and 5. The Eagles at their own 45-yard line.
The rush defense for the Lancers gave up an average of 4.5 yards per carry during the regular season, as their opponents gained 1,877 yards on 413 carries. Moving up and across the 50-yard line, it'll be very close to a first down, as the Eagles pounding the ball on the ground here in the first quarter against the Lancers.
Number 55, John Shealy, along with number 21, Larry Ayers.
John Shealy and Larry Ayers in on the tackle. And I think we might have a measurement coming up, as that was a 2nd down and 4.
It's close enough.
Referees right around the ball, and they will have a measurement. So we'll see if the Eagles gain enough yardage there on that first down, or it might bring up a 3rd and very short if he didn't get it. And they just got enough for a first down, the indication is made. So right at the 50-yard line, the Eagles will have a 1st and 10. Clock starts. We're under 5 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Again, this is the Division IV 2003 football championships. We're at Qualcomm Stadium in San Diego. I'm Ken Gonzalez for George Langevin Productions. Now under center is Kerwin. Quick snap. Again, he'll roll to the right. And he's across the 40 to the 35. He's not going to be taken down there, and finally brought down at the 21-yard line from behind. And the Lancer line is being blown down as the Eagles picking up large chunks of yardage here in the first quarter.
Tackle made by number 63, Fletcher Kelsey.
And so it's first down at the 22-yard line for the Eagles.
1st and 10. Santa Fe Christian at the Francis Parker 22-yard line.
See if they run again, and they do. Right up the middle this time, and inside the 20 to about the 19-yard line,
Number 22,
where he's brought down. Alex Peltier again, running right up the middle, and he'll gain 3 yards. That'll bring up a 2nd down and 7 at about the 19-yard line for the Eagles. And the Lancers defense really needs to come up with a stop here.
at the 19-yard line.
They trail 7-0 here in the first quarter
A 3-yard gain.
for the Eagles.
16-yard line. Makes it
Big play here for the defense of the Lancers, as they can stop this team, force them into a field goal try. Brian Kerwin on the kickoff. Here it comes. It'll go into the end zone and taken there for a touchback.
into the end zone. Touchback.
Matt Collins decides not to bring it out, and so the Lancers will start the offense at their 20-yard line when we come back. They trail 14-0. So we'll see what the Lancers offense can do here in the final 30 seconds of the first quarter before they have to switch sides here. Collins on the run. He's going to get back to the line of scrimmage and across for a gain of about 1, maybe 2.
Number 42, Matt Collins, the ball carrier.
And that'll bring up a 2nd down and 9 for the Lancers. So the Lancers trail early in this game, 14-0, as we're under 10 seconds now of the first quarter. And they'll let the clock run and they'll switch. And there it is. That'll signal the end of the first quarter. First quarter, which saw the Eagles of Santa Fe Christian take a 14-0 lead over the Francis Parker Lancers. The fight isn't out of the Lancers yet. We'll be back with the second quarter in just a second.
21-yard line.
So the Lancers will start the second quarter with a 2nd and 9 from their own 21-yard line. Pitch back to Collins. He looks for some room, moves over towards the near side, now moves back towards the middle of the field. He's going to be stopped cold at about the 23-yard line. He might have gained a yard. That'll bring up a 3rd down situation. He gained a nice spot there for Collins, and they'll give him 3 yards on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 6 now for the Lancers.
24-yard line.
Lancers move up to the line. Morrison calling the signals. He's got 2 wideouts here, 1 on either side. Now he'll move back. He's moving back around the 15, looks upfield. He's going to make a pass intended for number 32. Pat McQuinn just off his fingertips. And that'll be an incomplete pass, and it'll be 4th down and 6 now for the Lancers. So they'll have to punt the ball away and put the ball right back into the hands of that Eagles offense.
4th and 6. Francis Parker from their own 24-yard line.
And at some point you figure the defense for Francis Parker will step up, as they've shown throughout the season that they can do that.
Dropping back to punt, number 51, Scott Cruzy.
They've caused quite a few takeaways
Back to receive.
on defense this year, 28. Fair catch called for as it pops right out of his hands, but he's able to recover the ball. And he's down right at the 42-yard line.
At the Eagle.
Number 55 for the Eagles, Kevin Simonson.
Punt, no return.
So a 34-yard punt for the Lancers. The Eagles will have the ball now at their 42-yard line. As their offense has had a break, they've been pounding the ball throughout that first quarter. They had 2 rushing touchdowns, one by Peltier, one by the quarterback, Kerwin. 30-yard line from behind is Trevor Love, number 4. Brought down by number 24, Steve Black.
Number 46, Zach Cavell. Number 24, Steve Black combined for the tackle.
And the ball spotted at the 29-yard line of the Lancers.
That's a 29-yard gain. 1st and 10.
So Trevor Love with a 29-yard run
Parker, 29-yard line.
as he moved towards the near sideline and was finally tackled from behind. Steve Black came out of nowhere to grab him. Made the stop for the Lancers. Kerwin will pitch it wide open, number 8. He's across the 20, he's across the 10, and he's going to find the end zone.
On the option play.
Casey Roll will find the end zone for the Eagles, taking the pitch from the quarterback, Brian Kerwin. And the Eagles have jumped out to a 20-0 lead here early in the second quarter. 10 minutes to go. And this is not what the Lancers wanted to happen as they entered the second quarter. But the offensive line for the Eagles just blowing right past the defense of the Lancers. Alex Peltier with the PAT. Kick is up. And it is good. And so the Eagles on 3 rushing touchdowns of 29, 38, and 2 yards have taken a 21-0 lead over the Francis Parker Lancers. We have 10 minutes to go here in the second quarter. We'll be right back with a kickoff in just a moment. And so for the third time here in the first half, the Eagles will kick off after a touchdown. Collins back deep for the Lancers. Ball go off his hands into the end zone for a touchback. And so the Lancers will bring the ball up to their 20-yard line. That's where their offense will start. And they may have to start throwing the ball in the air. They're down 3 touchdowns. And they would like to get a score or two before the end of this first half. Defense of the Eagles has not allowed much for the Lancers. You recall in the first quarter, the first drive of the game, Lancers moved the ball quickly downfield, but had a fumble at about the 25-yard line, put an end to the drive. The Eagles took advantage of that, marched downfield, was capped by a 38-yard run by Kerwin, and now going deep. Morrison downfield intended for number 45, and the ball is going to be intercepted by number 9, Brian Kerwin, the quarterback of the Eagles. And so on the first down play, as the Lancers try to go deep downfield, Morrison's pass is picked off by Brian Kerwin. And it's the Eagles again on offense. They'll start from their own 49-yard line. So that's 2 turnovers here in the first half for the Lancers. As we were just alluding to, right before that interception, they had the fumble. The Eagles took the ball right down and scored their first touchdown. And we'll see if the Eagles can capitalize again on the turnover. This time the interception by Kerwin. The pass by Morrison. Handoff to Love. He doesn't go anywhere. In fact, he's going to lose about 3 yards on the play.
21 Larry Ayers and number 15 Preston Kavanaugh. On the stop.
Actually, it was not Trevor Love, but number 8 Casey Roll.
2-yard loss on the play.
He loses 2, and that'll bring down a second down and 12 for the Eagles.
For the Eagles at their own 46-yard line.
Roll with the 29-yard run in the last possession for the Eagles. Found the end zone at the end of that. And now the wide out on the far side for the Eagles, number 6, Brendan Marks again. The handoff is nearly fumbled by number 22, Peltier, and he's going to get across the 40, 35, and he's going to run out of bounds at about the 31-yard line. And they're going to spot him back at the 33, but we have a flag down at the 50. And this one might come, and it does look as though it is going to come back. And we'll see who that flag was against. Definitely against the Eagles.
Ten-yard penalty. Offensive holding called against the Eagles.
So it's an offensive holding against the Eagles. They're going to be brought back 10 yards. It'll be a second down and 18 now from their own 41-yard line. So the first real break that Francis Parker has gotten here this morning. Kerwin looking to pass. Behind the line of scrimmage. And stopped right there is number 3, Travis Mossy, as a defense for Francis Parker. All over him. And they'll bring him down at about the 34-yard line. And it's the Eagles going backwards now. And they have now a 3rd and long. It's 3rd and 25 from their own 34-yard line.
63, Fletcher Kelsey.
So the Francis Parker defense now bearing down. This is their best stand so far here in the first half.
Brings up a 3rd down and 25.
And their offensive unit really needs him.
Lancers in their own 21.
Tight end Zach Pavel into the game for the Lancers. Morrison will hand the ball off again and getting 1, maybe 2 yards up the middle. And that'll bring up a 3rd down and about 7.
Number 60, Jake Michael on the stop. 1 yard gain on the play. It's third down. 3rd and 8. Lancers at their own 22.
So 3rd and 8 for the Lancers. Under 7 minutes to go here in the first half on that run.
First down.
And so inside the 20 into the red zone again, the Eagles
Lancers 17.
knocking on the door again. Lancers don't want to give up another touchdown here before the end of the half. But as I was saying, the defense for the Eagles can come up with some plays. They know how to pop that ball loose, take it away. Kerwin pitches it back, taken there by number 4. He's going to get across the 15, and right at the 15, brought down. Trevor Love will gain about 2 yards on the play. A couple of tacklers there for the Lancers, number 55.
Number 15, Preston Kavanagh, along with number 55, John Shealy on the stop.
John Shealy, along with
The gain is 3 yards.
number 15, Preston Kavanagh.
At the 14.
And they'll spot the ball at the 14, so they'll give him a gain of 3. 2nd down and 7 now for the Eagles. Couple of receivers in motion now. Kerwin will keep the ball. He's across the 10. He'll get to about the 6-yard line. The ball's going to come loose. There was a whistle. They're going to rule him down. And that defense for the Lancers trying to do what they do best. That's take the ball away, force another fumble, but the ball was ruled down.
For Francis Parker.
So it'll be a 1st and goal now from the 6-yard line for the Eagles.
The officials will bring in the chains for measurement.
And that's actually close enough where they're going to have to measure this one. So we'll see if it's 3rd down or 1st down here. And by about a football length, they've got enough for the 1st down. So it'll be 1st and goal from the 6-yard line for the Eagles.
7-yard line.
Under 3 minutes to go here in the first half. So the ball is spotted there on the hash mark. Clock has started again, and so coming up to the line, the offense for the Eagles. Peltier in the backfield. Kerwin will hand off Peltier again. He'll get across the 5 to about the 3.
22, Alex Peltier, the ball carrier Peltier.
And it'll be 2nd down and 3. 2nd and goal now for the Eagles.
4-yard gain on the play, 2nd and goal. Eagles at the Lancer 3-yard line.
Coming up to about 2 minutes to go here in the first half, 2:20.
41, Kyle Shoemaker on the stop.
Kyle Shoemaker on the stop for the Eagles.
Ransom Parker ball, 1st and 10.
Down at the 47-yard line of the Lancers.
And 46, Zach Pavel.
Steve Black and Zach Pavel on downs. And we'll see if they'll sit on it or they'll go for one more shot at the end zone.
Over on downs. 1st and
The
10.
defense for the Eagles moves back into prevent as they spread the field. They don't want to give up the long play. Matt Morrison now jogging into the huddle. And he's working out of the shotgun. He's got a running back there for protection. And he is going to pass the ball. It's high into the air, and he's going to be just a little bit high, unable to reach Pat McQuinn. And that will be the end of the first half of this Division IV championship game between the Santa Fe Christian Eagles and the Francis Parker Lancers. And as we go into the half, it's the Eagles 34, the Lancers 7. I'm Ken Gonzalez for Georgia Langevin Productions. We'll be back with the second half of play in just a few moments. Welcome back to Qualcomm Stadium. This is the Division IV championship football game between the Santa Fe Christian Eagles and the Francis Parker Lancers. The Eagles really took it to Francis Parker in that first half as they go into the half and come out here for the second half with a 34-7 lead. I'm Ken Gonzalez for George Langevin Productions. We're here to take you the rest of the way, and we'll see if the Lancers can come back, cause a couple of turnovers on defense, get their offense back on track, and claw and climb their way back into this game. We've got a full half of football to go. This is a championship game. You know, neither of these teams are going to leave it on the sidelines. And so we look for some hard-hitting action here as the second half is set to begin. And it's the Lancers who took the opening kickoff in the first half, so they'll be kicking to the Eagles to start things off here in the second half. And Chris Foster, number 53, will be kicking the ball downfield for the Lancers. Kick is into the air, deep, taken at about the 15-yard line by number 3, Travis Mossy. Mossy trying to find an opening. He'll get across the 30 to about the 31-yard line, and he'll be taken down by Pat McQuinn, number 32.
Zach Pavel on the stop. 17-yard return.
So if the Lancers are going to win this game, get back into it, it rests on the shoulders of their defense. Their defense can cause a lot of problems for teams, as they've shown throughout the year. And as Eagles come out for their first formation here of the second half, Kerwin will hand the ball off, and now across the 30 to about the 35-yard line, a gain of about 3 yards. Casey Roll. Casey had a touchdown run in the first half. He'll spot the ball at the 35, and the Eagles start the second half where they left off, running the ball. And they now face a 2nd down and 7. And the Lancers want to stay away from allowing that big offensive play here in the second half. Eagles had runs of 38 and 29 yards for touchdowns in that first half. Kerwin hands the ball off, forcing his way upfield to about the 39-yard line. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 3.
46, Zach Pavel.
So at the 39-yard line,
The 39-yard line.
again spreading the field, heading towards that far side, number 6, Brendan Marks. Brendan had that great pass across the middle for a large gain when the Eagles were backed up and 3rd and 25 deep in their own territory in that second quarter.
Number 9, Brian.
That play broke it open for the Eagles. They were able to get back downfield and punch the ball in a few plays later.
They'll bring it to change.
And so this one's close enough to measure here. And we'll see if the Eagles gain enough yardage for the first down, as the chain game now comes across the field from that far side. Very close, and they're just shy by a couple of inches.
Just short of the first down.
And that'll bring up a 4th and 1, a very short one, 4th and inches now for the Eagles. And they're definitely going for it, as they have all the confidence in the world of this offensive line, as they have produced some massive holes so far in this game for their running backs. Alex Peltier has been the recipient of most of that, but Casey Roll, as well as the quarterback, Brian Kerwin, have found those openings. And we'll see what they decide to do. It might be a keeper, and it is. Kerwin will keep the ball, and he's pushed across to about the 43, 44-yard line. Nevertheless, it's enough for a first down. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Eagles at about the 43-yard line.
Number 9, Damian Robinson leads the defensive pressure. It's a 1-yard gain and a first down. First and 10, Eagles at their own 43.
So we'll see if this Lancer defense can shine now in the second half. Matt Collins led the team with tackles throughout the year, 110, 67 or 43 unassisted tackles. So he's been all over the field this year. And now trying to get across, we got a flag down in the backfield, and moving across the 50-yard line is Alex Peltier. And we'll see what the flag is all about, as this run might come back. It's a hold against the offense, against the Eagles. So this definitely will come back, and that will nullify the run, the 9-yard run by Alex Peltier. As you said, Matt Collins led this team in tackles, followed by Pat McQuinn, Larry Ayers and Steve Black, and Zach Pavel rounding out the top 5 in tackles for this Francis Parker team.
Brings up a first down and 20.
They can cause a lot of chaos out there. And that's what they're hoping to do here in the second half to get back into this game. Damian Robinson caused 2 fumbles during the year, so he can pop the ball loose. Running in the backfield now, trying to get across and up towards the 35-yard line. Casey Roll, and brought down by the defense of the Lancers. And the Lancer defense now has settled down. The last couple of times the Eagles have had the ball to end the first half, and now their first possession here of the second half, the defense for the Lancers making it very tough on this Eagle team to gain the yardage they were gaining in bulk throughout the first quarter and most of the second quarter. But ever since Matt Collins had that long run for a touchdown, the Lancer defense has played extremely well, and they have not allowed any points. Toss goes down to the running back here on the near side. He'll get to about the 39-yard line. It's number 4, Trevor Love. Ryan McKinley there on the tackle.
15, Preston Kavanagh.
I'm sorry, that was number 15, Preston Kavanagh. On the tackle from up here, the bird's eye view. Looked like 45, that was number 15. And so it's 3rd and 14 now for the Eagles. Pat McQuinn caused 4 fumbles during the year for this Lancer defense. So they definitely have the personnel out there on the field that can cause some weird things to happen for the offensive team. And that pass is going to be caught now. They're saying no, it hit the ground. So Kerwin's pass would have been good for a first down across into Eagles territory. Travis Mossy was the recipient, but it's ruled incomplete there at the 45, and so it'll be 4th down now and 14 for the Eagles from their own 39-yard line. And a great stand by this Lancer defense.
10 for number 3, Travis Mossy, the pass will bring him 4th down.
And now for the first time here in this game, the Eagles will bring their punting unit on. And so they've been held now on 2 straight possessions by this Lancer defense.
Dropping back to receive the punt. Number 24, Steve Black.
Steve Black standing on around his 23-yard line.
Back in punt formation for the Eagles.
And quarterback Kerwin plays defense. He's the punter, the kicker. Here's a snap. The punt is up and into the air. He angles it towards the far side. It's going to stop and bounce at about the 36-yard line. And it'll be down right there by number 41 of the Eagles, Kyle Shoemaker. And so the Lancers will take over at their own 37-yard line. They trail this game 34-7. 7 minutes to go here in the third quarter. And we'll see if they're play by their defense now will inspire the offense to go out there and put some more points on the board. Matt Morrison behind center. Pitch is going to be fumbled in the backfield. A scramble for the ball, and the Eagles have come up with another turnover.
The pitch is fumbled.
And the ball is going to be dropped
The pitch was intended
and fell on right there at the 27-yard line. And it's recovered by the Eagles. And so just like that,
for 65, Ryan King.
Ryan King recovering the ball for the Eagles. And the Eagles now have a 1st and 10 from the 28-yard line of the Lancers. And just when the Lancer defense held up and allowed or forced the Eagles to punt the ball, they had some momentum going in the first play now from scrimmage on the offensive side for the Lancers. They have a fumble and they turn the ball over. Peltier takes the pass.
The pitch to
Actually, the pitch to the right side. He'll pick up a couple of yards, and it's 2nd down and now 8.
made by number 6, Gino Gordon, and 71, Jeff Gass. No gain on the play.
He actually didn't gain any yardage. He's right back to the original line of scrimmage. It's 2nd down and 10.
Yard line.
And the Lancer defense has a job to do. We'll see if they can stop him. Peltier again gets off to about the 20-yard line. He'll gain 7 on the play. It'll be 3rd down and about 3 now for the Eagles.
Again, Gino Gordon, number 6 on the stop. Gain of 7 yards. Brings up 3rd down and 3 for the Eagles at the Lancer 20-yard line.
So this Lancer defense not allowing the large yardage plays that they were allowing in the first half. Kerwin will get the ball up to Peltier again. He's across the 10, angling towards that corner, across the 5. Dives for the end zone, but he's going to be ruled out of bounds at about the 4-yard line. Nice acrobatics by Peltier there. But he's ruled out at the 4. It'll be 1st and goal now from the 4-yard line for the Eagles.
The gain is to the 4-yard line again, 16 yards. It's a 1st down. 1st and goal, Eagles at the Lancer 4-yard line.
And as the Eagles continue to pound out the yardage on the ground, the defense for the Lancers has been out there an awfully long time throughout this game, and it could be wearing on them. The last 2 offensive possessions the Lancers had, the Eagles had. The Lancers held them, forced a turnover on downs, and forced a punt. And here's Peltier again, running across the line, and he'll run into the end zone and get across that line. Another rushing touchdown for Alex Peltier, his 3rd of the game.
4 yards into the end zone.
And the Eagles now have taken a 40-7 lead over the Lancers. Here with 5:37 to go in the 3rd quarter. Peltier will take this point after attempt. This kick is up and good. And so the Eagles now have taken a 41-7 lead here with just about 5 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Francis Parker's defense came out in the second half. They held them their first opportunity, but the offense on the fumble gives the ball away right back to the Eagles. They're able to get downfield, punch the ball in the end zone, and they've gone up again by 34 points. And as we await the kickoff, we'll be right back in just a second.
Number 9, Ryan Kerwin kicking off.
Kerwin will kick the ball off right at the 2-yard line, taking it there. Collins will take it right up the middle. He's across the 20 to the 25. Spins around, and he fights his way to the 30-yard line where he's finally taken down. A nice run back at 28 yards. And so the Lancers offense will start at the 30-yard line. They've got to keep their hands on the ball. They can't afford to give up another turnover. They've had 3 today, and they've all led to scores by the Eagles.
1st and 10, Francis Parker at their own 30.
Morrison looks to the far side. His pass is caught there by number 24 at about the 38-yard line. He'll get across the 45 and run out of bounds at about the 49-yard line. Steve Black with a nice run after the catch. And the Lancer offense now picking up some yardage. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Stop. It's a 19-yard gain, 1st and 10. Lancers at their own.
So a 19-yard reception by Black. Puts the ball just below midfield. Morrison again looks to his right, now looks left, rolls left. Finds Black again in the middle of the field, but he can't hang on to the ball at about the 38-yard line. It'll fall for an incomplete pass. And it'll be 2nd down and 10 now for the Lancers.
Number 5, Brian Chamberlain on the coverage. Incomplete pass brings up 2nd down and 10.
5 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter. I'm Ken Gonzalez for George Langevin Productions. Again, this is the 2003 Division IV Football Championship game. We're at Qualcomm Stadium in San Diego. The Santa Fe Christian Eagles and the Francis Parker Lancers. It's a whistle. And a timeout is called by Morrison.
Timeout.
And we'll be right back in just a few seconds.
Lancers at their own 49-yard line.
So the Lancers with the ball, 2nd and 10 on the 49-yard line. After that timeout. In motion now, 24. Black rolling to his left now, Morrison. And he's going to be tackled in the backfield. He's run down by a slew of Eagle defenders. And he's going to lose about 4 or 5 yards on that play, depending on the spot. Pretty good spot, actually. They only give him a loss of about 2. And that'll bring up 3rd and 12.
Number 8, Casey Roll on the stop.
Casey Roll with the sack. Roll all over the field. He's scored a touchdown on offense today. Third and 12 for the Lancers. 2 receivers now rolling to his right. Morrison doesn't have all sorts of time back there. His pass intended for number 32, Pat McQuinn, just over his outstretched hands. It'll fall incomplete. And the offensive unit will stay out there. It'll be 4th and 12 for the Lancers. They're down 41-7. They're on their own 47-yard line. They're going to go for it here.
4th and 12. That's 47.
So the Santa Fe Christian Eagles doing it on both sides of the ball. Excellent defense. The offense picking up yardage in bunches. They've punched the ball in the end zone 6 times. And they find themselves leading this championship game 41-7 with just about 4 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter. Again, rolling to his right. And the pass will fall incomplete, intended for number 46, Zach Pavel. And even if he would have come up with that ball, he would have been tackled immediately at around the original line of scrimmage. And so giving the ball up on downs are the Lancers. The Eagles will take over on the 47-yard line of Francis Parker. And the offensive unit back onto the field now for the Lancers.
At the Francis Parker 47-yard line.
The Lancers, earlier this year when they clinched the Coastal League against this Eagle team with a 28-7 victory, the Eagles would like to tell you that they didn't have
22, Alex Peltier.
Alex Peltier, as he had gone down in that game with an injury. And they weren't able to recover. They dropped the game to the Lancers 28-7. Gain of 6 yards by Peltier on that run. Brings up 2nd and 4 now for the Eagles. Peltier gained over 1,200 yards this year on the ground. Handoff again to Peltier. He'll work his way up across the 40 to about the 37-yard line. And that'll be very close to a first down. They're going to have to measure this one. The referee is looking to the side. And they are going to bring the chains out to measure this to see if it is enough for a first down. As they stretch the chain, it looks like they're going to be about a football length over the line. And so that'll be a first down for the Eagles. So 1st and 10 Eagles at the 37-yard line of the Lancers. Just about 3 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Kerwin under center. He's in the pocket. He's going to go deep down the far sideline. He had a man, but led him just a little bit too long. And the ball will fall incomplete. It'll be 2nd and 10 now for the Eagles. Brennan Marks, the wide receiver, tried to bring that one down. Couldn't get under it in time. And they'll come back now, try it again. 2nd and 10 from the 37-yard line of the Lancers. In motion. The handoff. And dropped.
22.
At about the 39-yard line is Alex Peltier. He's going to lose about 2 yards on the play, so the defense for the Lancers broke through the line, was able to stop him in the backfield for a loss. And it's now 3rd down and 12 for the Eagles. Eagles coming up to the line. It's 3rd and 12. Lancers want to make a stop right here. Handoff off to number 8. He gets across the 30 to the 25, and he's finally going to be brought down right there. Casey Roll on the run right up the middle. He's brought down at about the 25, almost a 24-yard line. It's a first down for the Eagles. And they'll have 1st and 10 again as the clock keeps rolling. We're under 2 minutes to go here in the third quarter.
First down, 1st and 10 Eagles. At the Lancer, 24.
So ball just inside the 25-yard line. Eagles line up at the line. Handoff again, and stopped right at the line of scrimmage is number 4, Trevor Love.
Number 4, Trevor Love, the ball carrier. Tripped up by number 9, Damian Robinson.
Damian Robinson making the tackle for the Lancers. Towards the end of that first half, the Eagles went to throwing the ball quite a bit downfield. And now with a large lead, they're up 41-7 as we wind down the third quarter. You might see them just keep the ball on the ground, grind it out, run the time off the clock, and head home with the Division IV championship. And the quarterback went around. He's across the 20 to the 10. He's going to be stopped right before the goal line, and he is. He's going to be brought out at about the 1-yard line. And the Lancer defense will keep him out of the end zone, as he had the defense fooled on that play. Everybody moved towards the near side to his right. And Kerwin just swept around the other end and was looking right into the end zone. At the last second, he was brought out at about the 1-yard line. And so it's 1st and goal now for the Eagles. A 23-yard run by Brian Kerwin. And the Eagles again right at the goal line, and Peltier, I believe it is, he's going to knock it in again for another score.
22, Alex.
And that is Alex Peltier, capping off an excellent season where he had over 1,200 yards rushing. He'll score again here with another rushing touchdown. He puts his team up 47-7 with under a minute to go here in the third quarter. And Peltier will take the PAT.
Trevor Love to hold. Alex Peltier on to try the extra point. The snap.
Kick is up, and it's good. And the Eagles now lead this game 48-7 over the Lancers. And we've got one more quarter of football to play. And it's going to be extremely hard for this Lancer team to come back into this one. So it looks as though the Eagles will be the 2003 Division IV champions. So the Lancers back to receive the kickoff.
Number 6, Gino Gordon.
Gino Gordon back there. Kick off the leg of Kerwin.
Kickoff.
Kick is high into the air. It's going to be taken about the 5-yard line by Collins. Across the 15, and he'll try to get to the 20. He's going to be brought down at about the 18-yard line. And the Lancers on offense now. They trail this game 48-7. And here at the end of the third quarter, can't overlook a great season by each of these teams. Lancers winning the Coast League by a game over this Eagles team, defeating the Eagles to clinch that league. And now it's payback here in the championship game as the Eagles have dominated from the get-go. Morrison back. He'll fumble the snap. It's still loose. It's going to be picked up by the Eagles. No, it's still loose. At about the 3, and we'll see who comes up with the ball. I believe the Lancers were able to recover the ball, and they do. So they nearly turn the ball over deep in their own territory. But now they're backed up towards their own goal line. It'll be second down
Back to the 3-yard line at the loss of 15.
and 25 now. A loss of 15 yards, but they were able to recover. So 2nd and 25 now for the Lancers, and that'll be it for the third quarter. 2 touchdowns by the Eagles have given themselves a 48-7 lead over the Lancers. We have one more quarter, the fourth quarter to play here in the Division IV championship game. It's the Eagles 48, the Lancers 7. I'm Ken Gonzalez for George Langevin Productions. We'll be back with the fourth quarter in just a minute. So 12 minutes to go before the Eagles are crowned the Division IV champions. They have a 48-7 lead. Lancers pitch the ball dangerous in their own end zone. And trying to come out, they might gain a yard, maybe 2. Matt Collins on the run. And it'll be 3rd down and 24 now on their own 4-yard line. Curious play there, deep in their own end zone. Near their own end zone. The pitch was taken in the end zone. And they want to gain some yardage here, get out. And they don't want to punt the ball from the back of the end zone, that's for certain. Morrison passes the ball to the far side, now across the 10 to about the 11-yard line. Number 24, Steve Black. That'll give him a little room there to punt the ball. And that'll bring up a 4th and about 16 for the Lancers. 4th and 17 on their own 11-yard line. Clock running. 10.5 minutes to go in this game. And the Lancers are going to go for it on 4th and 17, deep in their own territory. Down 48-7, not much to lose here. Morrison under center. Placing his receiver there on the far side. There's a snap. He'll back up now. He looks downfield. He's going to be tackled and sacked. The ball comes loose, but I believe he was in the act of throwing the ball. He was. And he was sacked from behind. It's an incomplete pass, and the Eagles will take over on downs at the Lancer 11-yard line.
Number 77, Garrett Bergheimer, applies the pressure.
And so it's the Eagles with the ball on the 11. We'll see if they elect to go for another score, if they just run the ball and try to run the clock down. We've got a commanding 48-7 lead. 10 minutes to go here in the game. The run will go right up the middle. And finding his way into the end zone again, Alex Peltier. And one play, 11 yards for the Eagles. And they now lead this game 54-7 over the Lancers.
Corbin Cutshaw, 11 yards into the end zone, touchdown, Eagles.
That's actually number 27, Corbin Cutshaw, the running back for the Eagles on the score. And in 6 seconds, the Eagles have scored another touchdown. We have a timeout on the field now before the point after. We'll be right back in just a few seconds. So Alex Peltier will attempt the extra point and try to put his team up 55-7 over the Lancers. Kick is up, and it's good. And the Eagles now lead this game 55-7, just under 10 minutes to go in the game. And they'll be kicking off to the Lancers in just a minute. Brian Kerwin will kick the ball off to the Lancers. His team up 55-7 here in the fourth quarter.
Number 42, Matt Collins.
Matt Collins will receive the ball. He'll take it at about the 1. He'll bring it out across the 10. Runs into some trouble. Now he'll move over here towards the near side. He's across the 20 to 25 and battles his way to about the 29-yard line. Nice run. 28-yard run back for Matt Collins. And the Lancers will start things off on offense again. We'll attribute this Francis Parker team. They won the Coast League. They'll have a 1st and 10 at their 29. Matt Morrison, a junior quarterback. Gino Gordon, a freshman running back. Matt Anderson, number 8, sophomore, quarterback, defensive back. Damian Robinson is a senior running back, defensive lineman. Greg Labar, number 11, backup quarterback, linebacker. He's a freshman. Ian Yoder, number 12, is a kicker. He's a freshman as well. Preston Kavanagh, the wide receiver, defensive back's a sophomore. Ball goes out of bounds. It'll be 2nd down and 10 for the Lancers. Number 21, Larry Ayers, a wide receiver. He's a sophomore. Steve Black, number 24, is a senior wide receiver. Plays defensive back also. We've seen him all over the field today. Made several tackles. Number 27, Jason Blake, is a sophomore wide receiver. Pat McQuinn, number 32, tight end. He's a senior. Sophomore running back, number 35, Avery Bravik. Number 36, Tom Stipanoff, sophomore running back as well. Max Wygood, number 40, tight end. He's a sophomore. Morrison now lines up again under center. 2nd and 10 for the Lancers. Hand off to Matt Collins. Gets back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd down.
Number 42, Matt Collins, is the ball carrier.
Number 42, Matt Collins. He's a senior running back. Ryan McKinley, number 45, a junior tight end. Zach Pavel, number 46, a sophomore. He's a tight end, seen some action today.
1 yard loss.
Paul Frickner, number 50, offensive lineman. He's a sophomore. Senior lineman, Scott Cruzy, number 51. Brian Rumsey, number 52, tight end. He's a freshman. Senior lineman, number 53, Chris Foster. We've also seen him kick the ball off on kickoffs here today. 3rd and 11 for the Lancers. Little flea flicker action. Collins back to Morrison. He'll go downfield, and the ball's going to be intercepted by Kerwin at the 50. He's across the 40 to the 35 and across the 30. Morrison back. He's looking to make a tackle on him, and he's going to bring Kerwin down at about the 10-yard line.
Matt Morrison's pass is intercepted by number 9, Brian Kerwin.
So Brian Kerwin with his second interception of the day. He brings the ball back to his 10-yard line of the Lancers. And again, the Eagles knocking on the door with 8.5 minutes to go. Max Vitro is a sophomore offensive lineman, number 54. Number 55, John Sheely, offensive lineman. He's a junior. Number 60, Joe Perello, offensive lineman. He's a sophomore. Mike Kranzler, an offensive lineman. He's a junior, number 65. Number 66, Philip Brody. He's an offensive lineman. He's a freshman. We have timeout on the field. And now moving up to the line of scrimmage. The Eagles are at the 10. They're inside the 10 at about the 9-yard line. Handed off there and getting nowhere. He's tackled by the defense of the Lancers right at the line of scrimmage. Brian Chamberlain carried the ball. He'll be stopped. It'll be second down and 9. Anthony Preto, number 70, offensive lineman, sophomore. Jeff Kotz, number 71, he's a sophomore offensive lineman. Aaron Stannard, number 75, big, 6'4", 230-pound senior, he's a lineman. Tyler Mabry, number 77, 6'5", 225. He's a freshman. Hate to see him in 4 years. He will definitely be a force for this Parker team in years to come. Eagles now. Second down from the 9-yard line. And being tackled at about the 9. No gain. Defense for Parker. Making a stand. That was number 27, Corbin Cutshaw, who had that last run in for a touchdown. Is stopped. It'll be 3rd and 8 now for the Eagles. Cliff Dunn, number 81, is a wide receiver, sophomore. Another sophomore wide receiver, Mike Gonzalez, number 82, and Brock Hibbush, number 84, is also a sophomore wide receiver. The coaching staff for this Francis Parker team won the Coast League, made it all the way to the 2003 Division IV championship. John Morrison, the head coach, with assistants David Greenstein, Micah Povich, Phil Fickling, Kieran Aston, Scott Rosenberger, and Chris Aguinaldo. Heather McCoy is the manager for this team, and getting into the end zone one more time.
Number 27, Corbin Cutshaw, the ball.
Corbin Cutshaw gets in. Another rushing touchdown for this Eagle team. Corbin Cutshaw with his second rushing touchdown here of the second half. And the Eagles now lead this game 61-7.
Alex Peltier on to try the extra point.
And number 22, Alex Peltier, will take the PAT. The kick is up, and it's no good. Pushed it to the right. But the Eagles with the commanding 61-7 lead. Here with 6 minutes to go in the game. And they'll be kicking off to the Lancers when we come back right after this. Yeah.
Number 9, Brian Kerwin prepared to kick off.
Brian Kerwin again on the kickoff for the Eagles. Collins back deep, and that ball going to the end zone and out of the end zone for a touchback. And so the Lancers will start the ball off on their 20-yard line. With 6 minutes to go, they trail this game 61-7.
Rams support the ball. First and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
And we'll see if the Lancers will have some luck here moving the ball against this tough, stingy Eagles defense here this Wednesday morning, the 17th of December, 2003. Matt Collins was able to score the lone touchdown for the Lancers so far, that long run right before the end of the first half. And again, Collins across the 20 to about the 24-yard line. Gain of about 4. It'll be first down and 6, maybe 7. Second down and 6.
4-yard gain.
Matt Morrison coming across to the side to get his set of plays.
On their own 24.
Morrison under center. Long count. Takes a snap. Gets the ball off to Collins again, but he's going to be dropped for a loss in the backfield over here on the near side. He stayed in bounds. The clock will run. And they're down to about the 18-yard line, and it'll be 3rd and 12 now for the Lancers.
Tyler Baldridge on the stop. A loss of,
Tyler Baldridge, number 11, on the stop for the Eagles.
a loss of 6.
And the ball is down to the 17-yard line.
Third down and 13.
So 3rd and 12 for the Lancers. They're on their own 18-yard line. Just never able to get an offensive rhythm here during this championship game. That Eagles defense, again, the pressure. Collins gets across at 20, and he's going to be brought down at about the 23-yard line. And that'll bring up a 4th down and about 9 now. 4th and 7 for the Lancers.
On the stop. Gain is to the 23-yard line. Brings up 4th down and 7 for the Lancers.
Lancers again will go for it here. They're on their own 23-yard line.
Scott Cruz is back in punt formation.
And actually they are going to punt the ball this time. Punt goes across midfield and bounces past the 40, across the 30 to about the 25, and finally down there at about the 24-yard line. So the Lancers with a fine punt there. And the Eagles backed up to about their 24. That's where they'll take over. And with 3.5 minutes to go in this game, the Eagles with a 61-7 lead over the Lancers.
3-yard punt.
And the Eagles here with an opportunity to run this clock down and out. Keeping the ball on the ground, running it.
Their own 24.
And coming away with a 2003 Division IV championship.
Number 7, Joe Steinwell in a quarterback.
Joe Steinwell, number 7, in the quarterback now for the Eagles. As Brian Kerwin has led his team to this championship. Great performance, couple of interceptions today. 38-yard touchdown run.
3-yard line. Again, 11 hits the first down.
And they've given him the final 3 minutes of this game off. The clock continues to run. We're under 3 minutes, about 2:45 to go. First down on the 34-yard line for the Eagles. Handoff again across the 40 to the 42.
27, Corbin Cutchaw, the ball carrier.
Again, Corbin Cutchaw now getting some touches here in the second half. Gain of about 8. And it's second down.
Larry Ayers on the stop. The gain is to the
Second down and 2.
gain of 8. Second down and 2. 4.
We've reached 2 minutes now in this game. Lining up over here on the near side. Casey Ego, number 10, wide receiver. And right up the middle, running the ball again to the 50. And it'll be stopped right there. It'll be enough for a first down for the Eagles. The clock continues to run. Corbin Cutchaw.
24, Steve Black. Number 42, Matt Collins.
Steve Black and Matt Collins on the stop defensively for the Lancers. And I think each of these teams content to have the clock run down here in this game. Eagles with a 61-7 lead. 27 unanswered points for the Eagles here in the second half. And we've reached 1 minute to go. Ball right at midfield. And on a knee right there. Brian Kerwin will take it. He'll go down. 48 seconds to go, so one more snap possibly, and that will end this game. So the Santa Fe Christian Eagles will be the 2003 Division IV champions. The CIF San Diego section, as they'll defeat the Francis Parker Lancers, avenging an earlier loss, a 28-7 loss that the Lancers put on them to clinch the Coast League title. Just a few weeks ago. There's another knee, and that will be it. The Santa Fe Christian Eagles are the 2003 Division IV champions, as they came out and dominated on both sides of the ball and did not allow the Lancers to get much offensively. They forced 3 turnovers, and they made it look easy. They cap off a great season where they were second behind this Lancer team in the Coast League. And capping off a great season for both of these teams. So from Qualcomm Stadium, the final score, the Eagles 61, the Lancers 7. I'm Ken Gonzalez for George Langevin Productions, and it was my pleasure to bring you this championship game here this morning. We hope to see you again soon sometime. Stay with us as we'll have a presentation of the awards coming right up.
For the presentation of awards to our Division IV champions for 2003, the Eagles of Santa Fe Christian. Making the presentation, Superintendent Jim Hobson, Principal Barrett Lukatic, Athletic Director Ross Boucher. Receiving the championship award, the head coach of the Eagles, Brian Sight, and his captains, Casey Roll and Alex Peltier. And selected to receive the Sportsmanship Award for his demonstration of the principles of competition with honor is number 56, Kyle LaRue. The champions will also be receiving from the Pro-Q Products championship hats. They'll go to all 4 winners today. Our congratulations to the Division IV champions for 2020, the Eagles of Santa Fe Christian. Coming up at 1 o'clock, the Division III championship game between Marion Catholic and St. Augustine.